This story here is completely, totally, and utterly wild. Okay, so this happened over the weekend. Okay, there was I think it was originally reported as a stage collapse, but then it got categorized as trampling. And long and short of it is, 9 people are dead now. Okay, this happened at Astroworld during a Travis Scott performance. These are words I'm not familiar with, but the event was Astroworld, and that was the stage that was there. And Travis Scott is apparently a rapper. I don't know. I don't listen to modern music because it all sucks a dick. Not as much as this situation. Okay, a lot of theories have been floating around in the interim, and now we're starting to finally see what the end game is going to be looking like. A 22-year-old woman who attended Houston's Astroworld Festival in Houston over the past weekend is the 9th person to die due to an incident. An attorney for her family and her family confirmed. Okay, so all of her family, I guess. James Lassiter, the lawyer, confirmed to media outlets that Batari Shahani died on Wednesday night. She was a student at Texas A&M University attending the concert with her younger sister and cousin, family members have said. She was an angel. She was like an angel for us, Batari's family, Sonny said, according to KHOU. Please make sure that she gets justice. I don't want somebody else's daughter to go like this. I kept hearing the news and all that, but for the last 6 days, I've not slept. No shit. Shahani had been on ventilator after attending the event headlined by rapper Travis Scott. There have been a lot of questions, and I think it's common knowledge, but there was a video going around most people have seen of a young lady falling from a gurney as they were trying to get her out of there, evacuate her. That was Batari Shahani. Oh, that sucks. Her sister Mohat Balani described the concert. Let's see this. We were drowning, we were dying. We were screaming for help, screaming for the concert to stop, crying, yelling. No one listened. Nobody cared. Authorities previously said the incident was triggered when concertgoers rushed the stage. This is where things start to get murky and interesting. Interesting in the worst sense of the word. Some attendees recalled being pushed into one another from all sides or pushed down to the floor and trampled by others. Some concert attendees recalled being pushed onto the floor, onto one another from all sides, pushed down to the floor, or trampled or crushed by other concert goers. A 9-year-old was reportedly injured during the event. I don't know why you'd let a 9-year-old go to a concert that had tens of thousands of people there, but all right then. Scott was only minutes into his headlining show at Astroworld Music Festival when at least one Houston officer radioed over to the police channel to the main stage that the main stage had been compromised by a massive crowd surge. Houston Police Chief Troy Finner, said Wednesday that the police told organizers to shut down the performance while fans in the crowd were being administered CPR. Authorities gave word around 10:03 p.m. that the concert was in the process of shutting down, but witnesses say Scott and Drake, a superstar rapper, came on towards the end of Scott's set as a special guest kept performing. There's a lot of videos out there that show that the performance carried on. Vince McMahon is somewhere super proud of this. But there's also been a theory of somebody injecting some people with stuff. It's fucking weird. The story is wild, and we're not going to get a full picture until a lot of these lawsuits get settled, and there are a bunch of them. So rapper Travis Scott faces 7 more lawsuits for Astroworld Festival chaos. He was also central to the planning in all of this, and may or may not have had a special relationship with the Houston chief of police, who might have been visiting Travis Scott in his trailer before the performance. Like I said, this story gets buck wild, but we don't know exactly what all of the details are on it. Rapper Travis Scott and his entertainment company Live Nation are now facing an additional 7 lawsuits in the wake of chaos that ensued Friday at the Astroworld Music Festival in Houston, Texas, where at least 8 people, now 9 people, were killed. One Houston injury attorney filed 7 nearly identical lawsuits on Tuesday morning, according to court documents obtained by TMZ. According to entertainment news outlet Roberts Markland, LLP, does not list specific injuries but says the plaintiffs are seriously and permanently injured. Each lawsuit claims both Travis and Live Nation failed to provide adequate security and a security plan to protect attendees, and conditions at Astroworld caused several stampedes and a crowd compression that led to the 8 deaths and hundreds of injuries. In the documents, Travis and LN Live Nation are accused of failing to warn fans of safety risk and failing to provide appropriate medical staff at the event. All right. Earlier this week, concert goers who say they were injured during Astroworld on Friday filed 3 other lawsuits, 2 of which are seeking $1 million in damages against Scott, Live Nation, as well as rapper Drake, who appeared as a surprise performer. I guess to try to obfuscate from the chaos going on. Hey, look out now, coming on stage, Drake. Cool. Drake is being accused of helping incite the crowd, even though he knew of Scott's prior conduct and continuing to perform on stage while a crowd mayhem continued. I don't know how legitimate those claims are, or if that's somehow a violation of law whatsoever. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Scott is also being accused of continuing his performance despite knowing that concertgoers were getting injured. Several social media users posted videos calling out to the rapper, who appeared to continue singing while it was clear medics were attempting to reach wounded attendees. Yeah, like an ambulance appearing in the crowd with lights and sirens going, but to be fair, maybe from the stage with all the lights and smoke and explosions that were going on up there, those were all like pyrotechnics, not like actual explosions. It would be rather impressive if he could continue performing in a war zone like that, but I guess he was a little bit oblivious to the ambulance that was making its way through the crowd. On Tuesday, Houston Fire Chief Samuel Pena said rapper absolutely should have ended his concert when he realized fans were getting injured in the crowd. So we have a little bit more information on it. Not a whole hell of a lot, but it is TMZ after all, and I guess I got some of the source material, so we'll check out what they have on this one. So Live Nation sought to protect itself from lawsuits, ... but here's the catch. We're already in the article. What do you need the clickbait title for? Whatever. Scores of lawsuits are sure to be filed in the coming weeks over Astroworld Fest, a tragedy. 10 so far, but it's climbing. But would-be plaintiffs could hit a legal snag over something on the Live Nation website. Oh my god, my terms of service. We're talking about liability here and whether Live Nation, the promoter of Travis Scott's offense, is on the hook for it or not, has plaintiffs rushed to court to file claims against them and others. On its face, Live Nation may have an out on that front, or at least a partial one. Anyways, due to the standard form they made everyone agree to before purchasing tickets from the Live Nation site, it's a limitation of a liability waiver most folks don't read, but always have to accept. Yeah, no shit. They did some research. As it turns out, an ironclad liability waiver in Texas would almost certainly provide cover for basic negligence, something that is, at least central to 7 of those claims, the ones that we just looked at. Online waiver reads, you voluntarily assume risks and danger incidental to the event for which the ticket is issued, whether occurring before, during, or after the event. You waive any claims of personal injury or death against us. That would be under normal circumstances, but if a lawyer could argue that it was incited by Drake's appearance, Travis's insistence to continue, whether he knew of the situation's escalation or not, he still continued. And if they can make the claim that he was aware of the situation, that'll be very interesting. Very interesting. If it doesn't provide... what it doesn't provide is protection against gross negligence. Okay, exactly what I was just trying to describe. Among other claims, which may well be brought forth in court as well. With that said, you'd think Live Nation might be in the clear here, at least on the negligence front. TMZ also took a good hard look at the liability waiver, and it's quite possibly they screwed themselves. Oh my god, the spicy language! Not to bog you down in the legal mumbo-jumbo. No, I like that stuff, but this is TMZ after all. But in Texas, in order for the liability waiver to be enforced to protect against negligence, there are a few things that must be met first. Continue to watch the rest of our stuff. The company has to feature clear language not your average Joe would understand, directly addressing negligence in the waiver, and from our check, Live Nation's Texas waiver does not seem to do this at all. Oh my god. So that's why there's so many lawsuits flying. Cool. Just read a little bit more, I guess. Plus, the waiver itself is buried on their site, which is another benchmark waivers have to clear. You got to put it prominently. Is that an argument that you could use for like terms of service? Oh, okay, cool. In fact, there are clearly people who bought tickets without ever going to the website. Yeah, like most people who buy tickets for events. I think it's a fairly common thing. Basically, because Live Nation's liability waiver does not seem airtight, it is not a foregone conclusion Live Nation can wiggle out of the liability in these mounting lawsuits. So regardless, lawsuits the process to procuring tickets for literally everything is about to get thousands of times more difficult because of a bunch of people dying in Texas. Everybody's going to be feeling the repercussions of this. Just give it enough time. We'll see where the story goes because I find it at least a little bit interesting. And it's going to be a legal hailstorm, so something that I find interesting. I don't know if anybody else does. I don't even know if anybody else is watching this. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.